Welcome back. Last week we did Ask the Gap, and it was a little more mild, maybe giving PG-13 vibes. The version you could play for your parents.
And what about this week?
This week is After Dark, so you've been warned. This is episode 7, Ask the Gap After Dark. Our season 1 finale. Holy cow, we made it.
Wow, we really did.
I cannot believe this. Well, let's go out with a bang. Welcome to The Age Gap Effect. All right, so like last week, we're going to go question for question.
All right. Would you like to take the first or would you like me to?
I'll start.
Okay.
All right. How do you handle PDA? Do you use it to your advantage? Any stories or rules about PDA in an age gap relationship?
You know, I do think actually that we use a little PDA to let people know that you're not my daughter.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I guess I don't think about it, but sometimes it sets the tone in a situation when...
Yeah.
Like when we're in the middle of the Crocs store.
Oh, God. Don't get me started. I'm going to the store to buy you more Crocs. No, but we are both very tasteful about it also. We're not going to stick tongues in each other's mouths in public or anything, but holding hands or, a cute kiss or something. And that's just us, though, also. I mean, we do that at home and not in public. So
we're very affectionate. The only time I think we take it a little too far is like the freezer section at Costco. We make out a lot,
baby. Okay, for question number 2, other than the freezer section of Costco, the question is, do your sexual drives line up?
Oh, they are really getting spicy.
Well, that's pretty personal, but it is funny. As an aside, it is funny that you get asked more frequently than I do of what's the sex like?
Oh, yeah. It's
like who else would, they've never asked that about any other relationship.
So it's funny because I usually tell people it's not what you think. I feel like I'm the one that is what you would expect a 70-year-old to be. And Rick's the one that has way more of a sex drive than I do. Not so much that. I think I just get so busy, and Rick's the one that is definitely more frequent.
Yeah.
So it's not always what you would imagine. That's the best part.
We do reverse roles. Well, wait. Let me back up. No, our age roles are, often reversed, where I'm acting like the younger one, you're acting like the older one. And
don't they say that, though? Like sometimes guys get this weird revamp 3/4 of the way through. I'm just kidding.
No, it's only me. It's only me. No, but I think overall our sex drives do line up really well. It's important to both of us, and we express ourselves often.
Yeah, so
might be a good way to put it.
So to answer your question, I'm the one on Cialis.
Yeah.
All right, next question. How long did you guys wait to have sex?
Oh, this is a good one. Actually, I like this question because it's going to dispel a lot of rumors. I think people think that we just immediately jumped into bed together in our first date or second date, or unfortunately, it wasn't even the third date.
Well, I am a lady.
Well, you are. And what a lady you are, because you made me wait an awful long time.
Yeah, it was like 6 weeks.
Yeah. It was 6 weeks, 4 days, 3 hours. I mean, give or take.
Wow.
No, it was 6 weeks. And
well, for the record, my usual is 6 weeks, 3 days, 2 hours. Yeah, so you must be special.
No, that was funny because we both know that both of us have jumped into bed with people rather quickly. And that wasn't the case in this case. And I think it was partly that, and a big part, that we were both taking this extremely seriously, like kind of right out of the gate. We should talk about our second date, because we had our first date in Las Vegas. We liked each other. We decided we're going to have a second date. And then you had to cancel But you told me, well, I could always come to LA for my second date because I had to come back to LA.
Yeah, well, so the whole one night stand is really not, I think I've maybe done it like twice in my life. So not really seasoned in that world. But yeah, I think my normal is to wait a few weeks anyways, like to get to know whoever's gonna fuck up my headspace and try to alter my Starbucks order. But no, yeah. So we had gone on one date, and then second date I canceled because of a scheduling conflict, and Rick had to go back to LA. So I thought, in the spirit of spontaneity, why don't I fly out for dinner?
Yeah. And then as long as she was going to fly to LA for dinner, I suggested she stay a couple nights and we enjoy LA together.
Well, I was going to book the flight, and I was going to pop in, do dinner,
And fly home that night.
have a cocktail, get back on a flight. And then you tried to be the gentleman, and you offered to book the flight and then booked it for 2 nights. So I was held against my will. And
Oh,
no,
please.
it was a fun little getaway, but it was unexpected. And I think then I was in my head because we were getting to know each other. I really liked you. And I thought, wow, this guy, I hope you don't think that I'm just some floozy from Las Vegas that's here for a good time and maybe to leave you with some feet pics.
I think we both knew that we didn't know what was going to happen and that it was just casual and it was comfortable that you were going to spend a couple of nights in my house, which is crazy looking back on it. We hardly knew each other. But it was funny that first night when we sat on the couch and we talked. We went out to dinner first and all that, but then when we got home, we talked and till maybe 2 a.m, 3 a.m. And then I turned to you and said, okay, let's talk about sex. And you look like you're caught a little bit of a deer in the headlights, like, oh my God, what's this guy going to say now? And I remember telling you, I don't think we're there yet. And I have a really nice guest room.
Yeah. So I've never just flown and done this whole eat, love, pray move and just stayed for 2 nights at someone's house out of state lines. So I think I was in my head about all of it. And then also kind of thinking about what image I'm giving here. Not that I thought you were going to try to take advantage of me or anything like that, but I thought about what I was, the move I was making. And I was hoping that you, didn't think I came with a bag full of handcuffs and whips and chains because that wasn't the case. So when you offered the guest room, I thought it was really nice. And it made it more comfortable because we got to know each other and settled into that.
We really did because the next day we went to the beach for lunch, and then that night we went to the Improv, a comedy club, because I knew you liked comedy. So I was trying to I thought, well, if you're from San Diego, you're going to want to see the water. So beach, lunch, improv, comedy. I think I knocked it out of the park. And then, but we still didn't feel like we should be sleeping with each other. So the second night you spent in the guest room also. And then took you to the airport the next day and you flew home and we didn't see each other for another week or so until I flew back to Vegas.
So I think if we hadn't bonded so intensely, I don't, most of the time I think you take that as like a sign. Oh, well, nothing happened. So it is what it is. But I think that we had a really good connection. And I'm glad that we waited because we got to know each other. There were no goggles or anything like that. It was really us just genuinely connecting. And I think that when you have that bond, it makes physical intimacy more desirable and it is more intense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the buildup was really good. And it almost got to be a little too much to where it's like, this is way too much work. No, but it was. We really got to know each other. And that was important, that it laid the foundation for a serious relationship and not just something for fun.
Yeah. I think that was really good. I masturbated a lot.
I don't think you needed to share that. Okay. It's after dark.
So with that being said, do you want to go into the next question?
Yeah, why not? I think so. Oh, here's the next question. Okay. How was the first time? How did it all go down?
I think the first time it went down, there was this 6-week and what did you say, 4 days and 27-minute?
Yeah, something like that.
Build up. So I think it was kind of awkward. And it can be too. We weren't drunk. So sometimes
It
you have
was
this.
so awkward.
Not that you should let me just say this. You should not have to get drunk to have sex with someone. But a lot of the time, because that sounded weird. A lot of the times, there is a little bit of alcohol or there's just some vibe going on the first time. Right. And we were like stone cold sober. So I think it was that too. You couldn't get out of your head. It was nervous energy. And I'm like, oh shit, what if this guy hates me after this?
I remember we were sitting on the patio or on the balcony in Las Vegas, and we'd been talking and talking and talking. And I remember turning to you and saying, so are we just going to be girlfriends here or?
Oh my God. That was so, because I think we were both kind of waiting for someone to make the move.
Yeah.
And in all fairness, God, I would hate to be a guy in this world because it's so hard to read. I could barely read myself half the time.
You were really hard to read. And I didn't want to be this lecherous guy who's like, come on, baby. And so I really was thankful that you were a little more aggressive than I was.
It's hard, I think, in today's world, too. Who's going to be the initiator? Because there are all of these sensitivities. And obviously with 50 Shades of Grey, then there are those insensitivities.
Oh.
But where does the line really stop and start? And it was nice. I think you made that comment, and then I reached over and looked you in the eyes. No, and then we kissed, and then it kind of
shoved
just
your tongue down my throat.
Okay, listen.
I was like, oh, okay. I think it's on now.
We have semi-adult listeners that are 18 and over right now.
Okay. Well,
no, it was. I think once the ice was broken, it was something that wasn't an issue. But yeah, maybe a 6-week buildup was a little intense.
it was a lot. But I remember telling you that I never go anywhere I'm not invited. And that was specifically speaking to our sexuality because I did not feel invited yet, during those few weeks leading up to it. Plus, there was a lot of traveling back and forth. And I was in Vegas and I had to go back to LA again and then come back to Vegas. And so we had some hiccups in there. But once I got back, once we slept together, I think we saw each other every day after that.
I think we had a lot of talks about respect and respecting each other and having these like beautiful boundaries and all of this, which is great. It's super PC. It's super kosher. It's very healthy. But we also come from backgrounds where like I have friends that are adult film stars, and it's not abnormal to be around taboo conversations. I've spent a lot of my career joking even about stuff like that. And I have friends that are in comedy. And then you also have a long list of friends. And I don't think that either of us gave off that none kind of vibe when we met, but then somehow we both kind of locked up and it was extremely respectful. And so it's kind of funny because it wasn't like a cotillion situation, but it did feel like, why can't one of us just fucking say something? Ooh, this one's good. Any surprise kinks because of the age gap?
Oh my God.
They added, I hope I don't sound like a creep. I'm just trying to think of interesting stuff. Well, unfortunately, neither of us are into the adult baby or furry lifestyle.
I can't think of any odd kinks that have ever come up with us. Oh, there was that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we use the word kink a lot, though. So that's kind of funny. Like I go to the grocery store every 24 to 48 hours. So naturally, I tell people that I have a grocery kink. I don't want to know what's going on when they play that out in their head. But I do use the word kink very often.
And cock. You've used that a number of times.
I didn't hear the you when you said that. I swear to God. Wow.
Well, you've made a few jokes and people don't know what to think, but we know what's going on. I think this goes back seriously to our conversation is so good. Our communication is so pure. And we just openly talk about everything, and sex especially. I mean, we've talked
about it. Yeah. But I love that we have this great humor too, because we do use sexual terms in joking situations or like just to lighten the mood. The first time that Rick drove in my Tesla, he had to renew his driver's license. So I showed him this really like kind of out of town outskirts DMV. That's a really great hack for Californians. So I took him and I said, well, auto drive. And it was about an hour drive. And I remember him thinking, what the hell? I don't, I'm the gentleman, I'm going to drive. And I said, just let me show you, I swear. So we get out there, we get in the car, put it in auto drive. And I can tell that he's into it, but he doesn't want to admit it. So I look over and he's got his hand on the window and his head's kind of resting on his hand, like a little bit frustrated. And there's some disbelief there. And I said, so what do you think? And Rick just looks at me and he says, not a cuck. Oh my God.
Well, we do have really traditional male-female roles, and make of that what you want. And people can say, oh, that's not PC or something, but we like it. We're kind of old school in that,
Pun
in that
intended.
vein. Yeah. So
You're more new school.
for you to drive me was a new experience. I was like, okay, let's see and now you drive all the time, which I'm just fine with. But
Well, I mean, in all fairness, usually I like to use the term passenger princess, but I guess I could say the cuck of the car. So the cuckery can be real in everyday life. It doesn't have to be in the bedroom.
yeah, we make a lot of kink jokes, and people don't know what to think about our sex life, and it's really none of their business, but it's pretty normal.
That is really funny, though. Now that we're talking about it, for me to think back to like, oh, I'm a coffee cuck. Well, I wouldn't say coffee cuck,
Yeah.
but I have a coffee kink, or just like using kink freely.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if some people think that, like, oh, I wonder if she like goes home and dresses up like a grocery store worker and,
Spills coffee on them.
hey,
Hot coffee.
can I get that prime rib cut? I don't know. I don't even know. Whoa.
All right. Our next question. I think I know who sent this one in. Here's the question. What steps are you taking to make sure Haley is satisfied? I know you are completely satisfied, Rick. Care to start on that one?
A lot of people do ask. And I think I would initially just say, it's fine, or do you see me complaining? I didn't think it sounded as dismissive, I guess, as it did when I told Rick I was saying that.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a underwhelming review of our sex life, which is pretty spectacular. So
I have ADHD, so making up my mind and making a decision sometimes, throw in being a Libra too, I am screwed. So for me to be captivated or fixated on something, the proof is in the pudding. But I mean, if you really break it down, girls tend to gravitate to older men because of the intellectual maturity. I mean, maturity all around, but then also there's the sexual maturity. And I'm not trying to get too into detail, but I mean, you can ask a lot of different girls. A lot of my friends even will date a little bit older because as far as like experimenting or a man being more in sync and in tune, I will not deny. And I can guarantee you most of you have seen one of those funny memes or dumb jokes about how a man doesn't know the female anatomy. There's a joke on The Office where Dwight is Googling where the clitoris is. And then by the end of the series that, he's a sex god. So I don't think it's unfair or abnormal to think that going older just means that you're stepping up to the major leagues, baby.
we know things.
Yeah.
When we get older, we've learned a lot throughout the years.
Like a fine Scotch whiskey neat.
Yeah, and I think as far as what steps are you taking to make sure Haley is satisfied, I think there's kind of an alluding to, am I taking any supplements or anything? And yeah, I'm 70 years old, for Christ's sakes. I'm taking Cialis, and I have no shame in that. We talk about it openly like we talk about everything else, but it helps on occasion.
We're both into the performance enhancement drugs. I get Botox, so I'm visually a better performer. I'm just kidding. A very small amount too, because my doctor will not let me do more. No, it's been great. It is funny though, because there's a line that isn't crossed except for in that taboo world. So if one of us had one leg too, or an eye patch, I'm sure people would also ask all the time, what's the sex life?
Well, it is really specific to an age gap relationship. Like, you don't get that asked eventually your girlfriends will ask you, I'm sure, about other guys and stuff that may have been your age in the past, but it's unique, I think, to an age gap relationship. It's like the poker thing I was telling you about, where people constantly ask me, how much money have you made? What's the most amount of money you've made in poker? And you would never ask me that about my real estate career, but I wish they would. I've done a lot better on that than my poker career. But it's the same kind of thing. It's only in that age gap world do people feel like they have license to just ask you straight up, so what's the sex like? And they've just met you in some instances. So I find that funny.
When it came to poker, I thought that you told everyone that you bagged the rebuy girl.
Yeah, that was the biggest prize. But
so the first tournament we met at, he was playing at a table, and the bounty of the table, Joey Ingram, who is a poker pro.
And podcaster.
Do you want to explain what a bounty is?
Yeah, and a bounty is they'll put one poker pro at each table. They'll wear a medallion, and if you knock them out, you get the medallion. You get a prize for that. So Joey was the bounty at our table.
So I made a joke after that. Rick had this prop bet with Joey Ingram for $20 to sleep with me, which is absolutely not true. But it was funny because then the next tournament we went to, Joey was there. And I told Rick, you've got to go up to him and say, hey, I want my $20.
Which I did. He looked puzzled as hell, which he should have. He hadn't heard the joke yet. But then when we explained the joke to him, he thought it was hysterical. Because I had been talking to him throughout the night about Haley. When I saw her and I turned to Joey, I'm like, damn, do you see that girl over your shoulder? I think I'm going to ask her out. And he was wholeheartedly in agreement that I should.
That is the best $20 bet you've ever made.
Yeah, well, it took me 6 weeks to earn it.
All right, next question. Was there anything initially about learning the age gap that turned you off? And was there anything early on, Rick, that turned you off about Haley? That was weirded, kind of funny. God, about the age gap. I always said that I would never again date the youngest sibling or someone with children, which sounds so funny, right? Being a mom myself, but I understand it. I've had clients make that comment. I would never date a mom. And I get it. Blending families and personalities and lives can be really hard. I don't know if the age was a turnoff. It was an interesting change up. The only turnoff for me was the negativity and pushback that I felt from some of the women in Rick's life. Some of the mean girl energy that was unnecessary. Because I've never dealt with that in a relationship. And I went into this super excited. So that really kind of pissed me off and hurt my feelings. But seeing examples of where I felt that Rick was being taken advantage of. And I think he probably saw the same in my life.
Yeah, I saw people that I thought were taking advantage of you or not healthy for you. But you were working on that and disconnecting those relationships.
Yeah, it's weird when you mend two different lifestyles. And while I was ending the legal part of my marriage or divorce, I think there were a lot of unideal situations or conversations that Rick saw, and I can see the concern there.
Yeah. And the rest of the age gap didn't really make a difference to us. It was the fact that it's the only time you'd be called a gold digger.
And honestly, it's nobody's damn business what goes on behind closed doors in my house. You have to have a thicker skin sometimes to deal with judgment, but life goes on.
And these are the kind of things that get brought up with an age gap relationship, which is why we're here.
Absolutely. I think when I had a kid, I learned that as a mother, I can't sit there and pass those intense judgments, especially if I was a girl mom, because you can't teach other women to tear other women down. And it's an unacceptable behavior. So that was my only woe, was that I'm the wicked stepmother of the West and I'm a gold digger. Put it on a t-shirt, throw it on a coffee mug.
Okay, this next one, this is a good question. Who fell in love first? Oh, we should talk about the I love you story.
Oh, gosh. That's a good one.
It's more about who said I love you first.
So I think we were in this phase where we were so in awe and we were so close that we kept making those comments like, oh, my God, I adore you. Or you.
I really, really like you.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say the L word. Neither of us wanted to say the L word.
The big L. Lesbian.
The different L. So why don't you say what happened?
So we were laying in bed one night, as we do. And I think I was going to say, like, I love this about you, because we were in that, like, cutesy, like, back and forth. How in the hell do I say what I'm trying to say? So I meant to say like, I love this about you. And then I just said, I love you. And then I looked at Rick and said, oh, fuck. And like put my head down.
That was so cute. So when she said that, then I said, oh, I'm so glad we've broken that ice because I've wanted to tell you for a while now, I love you. And then she turns to me and says, I'm so glad you said it first.
And then I got quiet and I rubbed his back and I said, you're so brave.
It was cute. But as far as who fell in love first, I don't know. Who knows when we each fell in love with each other. It was somewhere, it was pretty early on.
If it wasn't for Rick spilling the beans from the beginning, then yeah, we would have never known. So thank you for saying it first.
My pleasure.
Okay, here's a good one. Would you ever get a couples tattoo? Your name on Rick's forehead and his name on your...
I wonder what they were thinking there. Yeah, as far as a couple's tattoo, because this is audio and not video, you cannot see that Haley has a few tattoos. Actually, kind of quite a few, I'd say, but very tasteful, beautiful. And I have 0 tattoos. Never had one, have no plans to get one. So it is kind of ironic that she has several, I have none, and people made comments about that on occasion.
Yeah, so I think we're good on the tattoos.
Yeah, I think we've both had enough. All right, our next question is, would young Haley and young Rick have been a good match? Who do we imagine Haley will be at Rick's age? That's interesting.
Oh. Would we be a good match if you were 35? You know what? No, I don't think so.
Really?
If I was 70 and you were 35?
Oh, no, I mean if we were both 35.
Oh.
I think is what they're asking. Would young Haley and young Rick have been a good match? So
wow.
If we were both 35, would we have been a good match?
No.
Boy, you're really quick on the nose for this one. I kind of think we would have been. I don't know. Well, of course, you didn't know me when I was 35.
Well, that's why I don't know. I don't know that guy.
Yeah, no, that's true.
No, I don't know because I have an anti 35-year-old kink. So
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, if we would have met in the right terms and we would have gotten talked and stuff, then yeah, there could have been a spark. But, I think you're a little too young for me.
Well, actually, I did prioritize my career over my relationships at 35. So
same.
Now I have plenty of time for my relationship. So I think everything's worked out the way that it should be. So if we would have or could have, it's irrelevant because it's not real.
Yeah. So if 35-year-old Rick asked me out today, I'd say, listen, I'm sorry, but you're younger than my father. He's not my type anymore. But at 70, God, I feel like I might be the same at 70, just maybe a little calmer and feistier. Probably more of a bitch because I can get away with it.
Yeah, you're definitely going to, well, I shouldn't say definitely. No, it goes back to the thing that I just feel bad that I'm not going to see you at 70. I would be curious to see what you're like at 70, but I don't think I'm going to live to be 105.
Let's be real. Nothing's going to change. I'm going to do Pilates 6 days a week. I'm going to complain about things that don't matter. Probably at that point, hopefully I'll be so deep into my yodeling that no, you'll know who I am by then.
At least you'll be hanging out with women your own age at that point.
Well, I could do some weird revamp though, where maybe all of a sudden I start hanging out with the 50-year-old women.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And dating 35-year-old guys.
Bow to your sensei.
There you go.
So yeah, you never know. But I don't think a lot's going to change. I might be more sarcastic and a little more unhinged. I might be that grandma. This one's great. Any concerns about Haley wanting to party and Rick wanting to eat dinner, watch Jeopardy, and go to bed?
Oh, this is a good question because people don't know necessarily that actually it's kind of the reverse.
Yeah.
That you're the one that wants to stay home and eat dinner in bed and not watch Jeopardy, but
I'm always making Seinfeld references, and Rick, it's always over your head. That's the best part.
Well, that's true. Yeah. But I know that, like when we got back from Hawaii, we had been pretty spent on that trip. And then 2 days later, we were going to a tournament in Arizona, a poker tournament, and to surprise some friends who had wanted us to go. But we said we just couldn't because we were exhausted from Hawaii. And we were exhausted from Hawaii. We weren't kidding them. But 2 days later, I flew back to Vegas. Haley was already there. And I said, hey, what do you think about jumping on a jet tomorrow morning, flying to Arizona, playing the Arizona State Championship, and surprising our friends? And she looked at me like, are you crazy? But in true Haley fashion, she's like, I'm in, let's go. And we had a great time. But I do think I'm more of the one who wants to go and travel here and jump there and whatnot. And she seems to be more of a homebody.
I was telling Rick earlier today, it's funny, whenever he proposes these crazy out of the box ideas or just adventures, the first thought in my mind is, how is this going to affect my fitness schedule? And if it's a restaurant or some sort of food related thing, I always think, how long am I going to have to work out to get rid of this crap? So we are completely opposite. That's the best part. I've managed to get less than, I mean, it's like Navy SEAL training. I sleep so little because between you and Mav, you guys are opposite ends of the spectrum, literally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am the one that wants to sit around and watch the Costanzas on a good Wednesday night. And Rick he's the showstopper.
I like going out.
We have a lot of fun though. Here's the funny thing is that if I really was trying to woo you over and it was an age-based thing, I would have tanked so hard. Because yeah, you don't get my Seinfeld references. You don't get any of my dumb, cheesy, like historical jokes, or like I make dumb biblical jokes because I was raised in a pretty strict religion and Rick wasn't. So all of those old school, like jokes about like Noah's Ark or some stupid crap, you never get them.
Yeah, she has to explain all the religious things to me. But
so great.
Okay, this last question is very significant for any couple. But the question is, what about making sure Haley has all of the passwords and knows where all the financial documents are? Have you had this conversation?
How many times?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have multiple times. I joke with Rick and say I'm the best person to tell where the keys to your safe are because half the time I'm going to forget. Rick has some go-to people that I can call in an emergency setting. So if I do forget anything, I've got backups, but I'm not going to say I know everything because what if I get kidnapped one day? I find myself in, what is that called? Where they torture you with the water in the towel? What?
Waterboarded.
What if I find myself one day in the middle of a waterboarding situation and they need to know all the passwords? I can't let people know I know them.
My life's not that exciting. They wouldn't need to know them.
Okay, before we close out season 1, God, that is crazy to even say. We have one more thing. One of our very special listeners, maybe our number one fan, if you see my reposts on Instagram, I'm not going to name names. They know who they are. They suggested that we quiz each other. All right, so I have a list here. Do you just want to go question for question?
Absolutely.
All right, so first question, how do I take my coffee?
Oh, that's the easy one. Flat white, sugar-free caramel. I make sure they use sugar-free because there have been mistakes. A cake pop and a apple juice for Matt.
Okay, the cake pop is also for Mav. Don't you dare get me caught up with the cake. The keto community is vicious. No. And Rick likes a venti white mocha with almond milk, no whip.
Very good.
Sounds like I'm speaking a foreign language.
Okay, what is my favorite TV show?
Okay, we never watched TV, so the news, Yellowstone.
Know, right? Yellowstone, yeah, that was my favorite series. I know yours is The Office from years ago. But yeah, we didn't even turn on a TV, I think, for the first 9 months.
Yeah, The Office is always my go-to. Or like those I killed my boyfriend and got away with it shows. The good stuff.
Yeah, right.
Anything murder related.
Are you doing research or?
What's my biggest pet peeve?
Oh, I think I know this. I think it's got to be wearing white after Labor Day. Or the rule about it.
You know me so well.
Yeah, you know.
God, I don't even know. I have so many pet peeves.
I think one we both share is the must be nice people.
I don't know if that's a pet peeve. That's just an annoyance.
Well, yeah.
Things that like just tick
but I
me
digress.
off. I just, being a girlfriend is a pet peeve sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. I know yours is whenever I forget to close cabinets or drawers.
That does stir me up in all the wrong ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Okay, what's my love language?
I think quality time and touch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
I know yours. Yours is act of service.
Yes.
And you express that in your cooking a lot. And it's really well received. So thank you for that. Thank you for your service.
Just so dumb. You're very welcome. All right. What is my go-to comfort food?
That's got to be chicharrones.
I do eat a lot of pork rinds. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. I think your go-to, like just easy, basic, like comfort food is like a BLT.
Oh, I love that from childhood. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that or like grilled cheese.
Well, I never turn one of those down.
Those are good questions. Thanks, user number 346 on Instagram.
That was a very good idea.
Oh my God. That's Ask the Gap After Dark. That's a wrap of season 1 of the Age Gap Effect. I want to say something real quick for a sec. When we started this, I genuinely didn't know what in the hell I was doing. I had a ring light, an iPhone, a boyfriend. He had great hair. I was jealous. And I had a dream. This crazy idea that we were going to do this fun podcast where we could keep it real, advocate, kind of harmonize all of these ideas. We're here.
I'm so proud of you, baby, of everything you put together here. You really did this from scratch.
It's crazy. Here's what I didn't expect. I didn't expect you guys, all 45 of you guys, and it could be 46 if your heart's in the right place by the end of this podcast episode. We have followers from LA to Virginia, all the way to the UK, maybe just one in the UK, but you know what? All it takes is one to start. This has been incredible. The people who found us, who listened, sent in their stories and also the questions. I love it. Thank you guys so much.
You really made this real. You made it mean something.
We built something, all of us together, and we're literally just getting started. I am so excited for season 2. We're going to bring in guests this go around.
We're going to go to places that we haven't even been yet. And the big change is that we're going to go to video as well as us.
So thank you guys for being here from the beginning, finding us, searching us on YouTube. Please don't forget to send in your stories and look for us on TikTok and Instagram at The Age Gap Effect. Stay tuned. We're going to do some summer videos as we prep for season 2. Can you believe it?
No, I can't.
We met 1 year ago at a poker tournament, and look at us now.
I made the final table and won the bet on the rebuy girl. It's a pretty good day.
Not bad at all. So excited for next season. But before we go, a really quick shout out to our favorite unpaid sponsor, The Age Gap Effect.